Homework 4 then. Let's look through the questions that were being asked here about this particular code. So the first one, bit of revision on interpreters and compilers. We need 4 marks, so you want to get across 4 points. First point, interpreters are used during the development of a program. Why? Because they translate and execute each line as it's entered, which means you'll immediately find out if you've got an error. So it's easier to find and locate the errors you're getting as you work on a program. A compiler is better when the program's finished, because when it's translated and executed, it produces an executable file, so the program never needs to be translated again. Looking through this code, let's see what we have here. So we've got line 1 and line 5 both use internal commentary. We have got lines 2 down to 4 all with initialization of variables. We have one conditional loop and a second conditional loop here, and we have a couple of inputs for different variable types here, and obviously these are the 3 variables that we have. Very straightforward to identify those. Question asks us why the loop in lines 10 to 12 will never execute. Now, loops would never execute because the condition has already been met that would allow the loop to actually begin in the first place. So if you look carefully at the variable values, hopefully you can explain why that loop will never ever actually begin. The code on line 11 will never be executed if you look carefully, and you can explain that with values of the variables. Question 4 asks us to give 2 examples of variable values which will cause the first loop to end. Now there's 2 different variables in that complex condition there. You could give one variable the password could be, or you could give 2 variables that attempts would be. Try and do one for each. And then last one, very simple, is on the different types of tests. Now the reason I've asked this one again is because people's answers aren't fantastic, and you need to start giving answers that are a bit more clear using the actual terminology we've learned, and you need to be really using your textbook and your class notes when you're answering those, rather than trying to quote it from memory. So try and think what the answer is, and then look it up and make sure that you are giving the best answer that you can possibly give, and put that little bit extra effort into your homework to make sure you're bridging all the gaps in your knowledge.